What's going on, guys? I'm back again with another mental health awareness video. And today's topic, as you guys saw in the title, I want to talk about, I think in today's society, too many people are okay with just not being okay. And in turn, that's not okay to me. Now, we live in a fast-paced society where a lot of people are just so focused on themselves and, they want to do what they want to do and just not be bothered. But, everyone comes to a point in their lives where we need to ask for help. We need to find someone to help us get to where we need to get to, whether it's from depression, anxiety, work stress, or just trying to figure out how you're going to achieve your goals. And I think so many of us, because we see the way other people react, we're afraid to ask for help. We're afraid to be a burden on people, and we figure we're just going to figure it out ourselves or just deal with it. I think a lot of emotional pain we're kind of just taught to deal with. And that's where you kind of become numb and you kind of just allow yourself to exist in a world where you believe as long as you're not doing anything wrong, it's okay, and it may sound decent, but it's not how it needs to be. Because when you're afraid to ask for help, there could be a lot of reasons. It could be pride, it could be afraid to be a burden on someone, it could be being afraid to not get that help and not being able to figure it out. But when you have all these things bothering you, you need to work them out mentally, or else they're just going to eat at you and they're just going to keep stifling you from getting to where you need to get. And it almost seems like, to me, at least from personal experience, I've had those moments where if something's on my mind, I won't be able to do something else until I figure this thing out. And that's where the numbness comes in. Because because you can't figure it out, especially after a certain amount of time, you just kind of allow it to be a part of yourself versus, I guess you could say almost like expulging the toxicness. And sometimes in life, we come across problems that we can't overcome by ourselves, and we need that help, we need that support. And I think that's why it's important to have supportive people around you. People that know you on a good day, they know you on a bad day, and can spot that when you're having a bad day, and are there for you, to reach out to you, to get you back on your feet, to get you back in the right mindset. Because when you just become okay with being okay, or when you just become okay with not being okay, is what I meant to say, is you start to lose focus, you start to lose your passion, you lose your motivation, and you're basically only allowing yourself to be a percentage of who you really are at that point, because there's something in those dark barrels of your mind that is blocking the rest of that sunlight from coming in and allowing you to shine. And I think that's where it becomes very important to understand that you can overcome it. I think we live in a society where more of us are anxious, depressed, sad, or angry at something than we are happy. And I think, it doesn't need to be that way, but I'm sad to say that it just seems like with the way society's norms are, it's just how it's structured to be. We have goals for ourselves. We all want to be successful, but more people in the world are poor and middle class versus rich and happy. Not to say money brings happiness, but only a certain percent of people get to reach that success that they see for themselves. It's always because I think we're meant to believe that certain goals are unattainable. Certain things we want to do, we're kind of pushed down on, saying no, you'll never get there. And you start getting almost like a portrayal in your head of what you can and can't do. But I believe, you're only as good as you give yourself out to be. Anyone can achieve anything they want, in my opinion, with the right mentality. And, when you start getting those doubts in yourself, when you start beating yourself up, when you start dealing with trauma, like I said in my last video, it starts to change who you are. But it doesn't need to stay who you are. We allow these things to just become permanent tenants in our brain instead of evicting them. And in order for us to reach who we need to be as the full potential of ourselves, as who we wish to see when we look in the mirror, I think it's important to, take everything that we may be afraid to reach out about, we may be afraid to bother someone about, to get advice, because either we're afraid we're not going to get help, we're afraid for what they're going to say, or we're just afraid to know what the answer actually is. But the thing is, you learn from experience. You learn from these doubts. And reaching out and getting help not only will allow you to see that there are good people out there willing to help and that can stop you from just not being okay every day and bring you back up. The biggest thing I always say to people is don't be afraid to reach out to people for help, because you'd be surprised how many people are just out there with good hearts that you wouldn't think you would see in today's society, where so many people are just for themselves. But there are still some good ones out there, and I think we can build that mentality back up to help each other reach our own dreams, because in a sense, you help someone reach their dreams. Who's to say you won't need them down the line to help you reach yours? And it's going back to topic. It's one of those things I just wanted to put out there today that, it's really become apparent to me that too many people are just, not okay, and they're just living with it. And they're just forced to think in their heads that this is how it has to be for them, this is what it is. But every day that you wake up, you can make a change in your life for the better. And I think, especially during this time in 2020, we're all just kind of numb at this point. We're all just kind of dealing with the year. We're all just kind of living with it, and we want it all to be over. I don't know anyone that wishes that this year would continue for their benefit. And if you are one of those people, like, all right, I guess you're getting what you wish for. But I know so many of us are just going through pandemic fatigue right now, going through isolation, depression, anxiety. And, I want you guys to know that there's always someone out there willing to help you, willing to talk to you. And we don't have to deal with this alone. You don't have to survive by not feeling okay and just dealing with it. We can all get back to the happiness we wish to achieve, the happiness that we had as possibly children. Maybe it was the last time we felt as good as we can. That happiness, I like to think that, when you're a child, your happiness level's at 100% because you don't know any evil in the world. And then based on the things that happen to you, based on stress, that 100% just keeps deteriorating down. And so many of us are just okay with it deteriorating and then finding that plateau where it just stops going down, and then just learning to be like, okay, this is where it is. But we can take where it stops and start building it back up again, so we can all live as happy people and all live together to help one another. Guys, that's my little video I want to do for this week. You don't have to just survive by just being numb to everything. We can rebuild, we can get stronger. And I want to shout out everyone who's going to watch this video. I hope everyone's staying safe. I hope everyone's good. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. See you, bye.